Hello, everybody. I know you can probably hear me, but not see me at this point. So if you can just give me a moment here, that would be great. Please let me know if you can hear me, though. I am working on my video at the moment. Can everybody hear me okay? Hello, hello, hello. All right. Thank you. Working on the video. Hang on, it should be ready in just a moment here. Okay, I see myself. Come on. Come on, you can work. I know you can work. But anyway, hopefully everyone is doing well. Hopefully you all had a great weekend. It is Turkey Week, Thanksgiving week. There we go. Okay. There we go. All right. Should be all good now, guys. Sorry about that. Not the way to start off the week, but could be worse. It's actually been a really good trading day. There we go. Herbert, thank you. Everybody see me now? There we go. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. All right. Kind of slow. Kind of slow. I thought that we would actually be a bit busier. I know the market, opened up really, really nicely to the upside here. Kind of faded a little bit. Now coming back a little bit. S&Ps are up 12 right now. I think we had been up close to 40 earlier on, but boy, this certainly helped out a bunch of our positions, which was great. I actually think even though it's a holiday week, and I kind of mentioned this on Friday, I think that we are going to be kind of busy through Wednesday morning because Wednesday morning we get a ton of really important eco data for the Fed. We get PCE, we get durable goods, we get GDP, and because of the holiday on Thursday, we get weekly jobless claims. So Wednesday morning could be actually pretty volatile in terms of a big market move. All of those numbers are pre-market. But then I would tell you, regardless of what that move is, my guess would be because of the holiday, by mid-Wednesday morning, we are going to die down quite a bit. And probably, just kind of waste into the Thanksgiving holiday. And then, as we know, markets closed on Thursday, half day of markets on Friday. Half day of markets on Friday. So that's the week here, guys. All right. Are we overbought a little bit? Might be. Anybody else, guys? Anybody else having a sound issue? Just want to make sure it's not on my end. I don't think it is, but just want to make sure. Okay. Victor, looks like it might be you. All right, guys. Well, so market update. Bitcoin is down. Boy, I sure thought it was going to hit 100K over the weekend. Still looks like it's going to. It's down a little bit today. Maybe some people getting in ahead of that 100K print if and when that happens. But, the Bitcoin stocks that we've been looking at, that we've been trading, Mara has been just fantastic for us. MSTR has been all over the place. IBIT has been all over the place. So I think still lots of opportunities there. And you know what we are going to talk about today, guys, because it's almost that time. The big guy is almost in the house. Unbelievable. With Black Friday starting this Friday here, there is something to be said about the Santa Claus rally. We go through a lot of these kind of market periods, like what happens with the Super Bowl indicator, okay, and the Halloween indicator. And there's all sorts of indicators like this that maybe are a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but the big guy here, this has been one that has been pretty tried and true. Okay, so we're going to go through what this is, what it might mean. Is it real? Well, my answer to that is kind of. Kind of. That's why I got the little smiley emoji on there right now. When does it happen? Why does it happen? Okay, because it is something that we really have to pay attention to. And here's what it is. Here's what the Santa Claus rally is all about. Okay, and is it different this year because of a presidential election? Okay, now, November, December, okay, seasonality. Seasonality plays into market returns typically. November, December, some of the best returns of the year. Okay, in fact, if we look at a 2-month period across the entire calendar, okay, if we were just to take any 2 months, we would see an average of about 1.2%. Now, if we look at the average return, this is in the S&Ps, this is in the Dow. This is in the Dow. If we look at average return for November, December, that goes up to 2.6%. It doubles. Now, November, December in a presidential year, 3.3%. Now, we already have some gains this month, so you kind of have to count that in already here. Okay? But this really tells us November, December, not only historically is it really good, but in a presidential election year, it is even that much better. Okay? Now, that's not the Santa Claus rally. That's seasonality. That is seasonality. The Santa Claus rally, or the Santa Claus period of time, okay, is measured a little bit differently. And that is measured from Christmas through the first 2 trading days of the new year in January. So we haven't gotten there yet. Maybe there's some anticipation to it. Okay, so it is actually a 7-day period. Okay, I'm going to give you some more stats before we go into more here, just like I did with the 2-month period. Okay, all 7-day periods for the entire year, the Dow is up 0.2%. That's not 2%, that's 0.2%. Now, from Christmas, okay, through those first 2 days, that is the Santa Claus period of time, we see 1.6%. 1.6%. That's huge, huge. We're talking about a 7-day period. And then, just like we looked at in a presidential election year about the 2-month period, in a presidential election year, that Santa Claus 7-day period, that actually rises to 1.8%. Okay? Let's look at some other stats here because I want to go into some reasons, and I'm going to ask you guys now before I put this on the board here. Why do you think this happens? We now know when it does happen. We've now identified those 7 days there. Okay? But why does it happen? And what you're about to see here in a moment is that the Santa Claus rally is actually a pretty accurate predictor of what happens to the market for the following or that next entire year. Okay, so when the Santa Claus rally occurs, the market is way more likely to be positive for the year. And if the Santa Claus rally is negative, it's way more likely that the returns for the year are going to be negative. So it's a good thing that overall, historically, Santa Claus rally happens a very, very good percentage of the time. You guys keep, Bobby, thank you for your answer. You guys keep putting in your answers as to why this might be something that happens, okay? But what I've done here is I've detailed and outlined, and if you want, again, I am happy to share this with everybody so you have all this information. This is going back 25 years. Now, the Santa Claus rally, the thesis, the theory behind it, was actually started back in the early 70s. Okay, this data goes back 25 years. So you can see a few of the outliers here. Okay, in fact, the first 3 years here, not a great indicator of the entire year, because we got negative 4% and then 2 positive returns for the Santa Claus rally, but all 3 years here were negative. Okay, now, is that an outlier? Maybe. What happened during that time frame? Okay, those are really good answers. You guys can keep putting those in there, and I'm going to discuss your answers when we go through that. But what happened during this period of time, folks? Okay, that could have been the cause. I'm not making excuses for why the Santa Claus rally in 2 of those 3 years didn't account for positive gains for the year when they were positive. But what could that have been? Does anybody remember what happened that time frame? Okay, 9/11 was one of them, yes, and the dot-com bubble. Exactly right. Exactly right. You had the dot-com bubble, and then you had 9/11. Okay, no, that wasn't COVID, Matthew. Okay, so we definitely, is that reasoning for why, annually we were down here? Yeah, that really is the cause of these 3 years here. But then move forward in time here. Okay? Then move forward in time. Everything kind of makes sense here, What happened here, guys? What happened here? And I will never forget, I was trading in the S&P 500 options pit during that time. What happened there? Okay, and it did follow the lead. The Santa Claus rally was negative that year. All good, Matthew. All good. Yeah, that was the great financial crisis. Okay, that's what this negative 38 and change percent. Ouch. That's what that was. Okay, then you can follow through here. Positive, 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 positive. Then we get a little bit closer historically to within the last 10, 11 years or so. Okay, and there's 2 times here that we didn't see, actually 3 times, my bad. One of them can be explained away pretty good. Okay, these 3 times here is when we didn't see the annual market follow the trend of the Santa Claus rally. Okay, and obviously this one was COVID. Okay, so the Santa Claus rally, guys, it really is real. It is real if you just look at the data. And it's not just kind of a hoax. It's not just kind of a whim. It's not just, the Super Bowl indicator says if the NFC team wins, market's going to be positive for the year. If the AFC team wins, market's going to be negative for the year. Well, the Chiefs won this year. Market's very, very positive unless something really, really bad happens. Okay. Then, sorry about that. if something really bad happens, we'll see. I doubt that is going to happen here. But some of the reasons, okay, and I'm going to take this off the screen here right now. Again, if anybody wants a copy of that, I am more than happy to send it out. But some of your answers were shopping push, okay, beginning of the year asset management, institutional portfolio rebalancing. Okay, I think the biggest one is tax loss harvesting. Who's heard of that or understand what that means? Because we see that. That is 100% an actual phenomenon that happens. We absolutely see that. And what that is, and it happens more so in down years, okay, than up years, but investors want to take a tax loss on their investments, okay, because they want to offset gains elsewhere. So towards the end of the year, they sell stocks at the end of the year and claim those losses if they're down on the year to offset any capital gains that they may have to pay taxes on. And then they rebuy them in that first day or two of the new year. And since, the Santa Claus rally covers both ends of that, the end of one calendar year, the beginning of the next one, okay, that's something that could help cause the rally. Okay, number two, someone had mentioned institutional investors. What's the trading volume like? Trading volume as we get deeper and deeper into December. Trading volume just decreases dramatically, especially from the institutional investors. Okay, so what typically happens in the marketplace during periods of low volume? Markets go up. You can look at all the data that is out there. Markets typically go up when there is low volume. Okay, that is a verified fact. Okay, all right, guys. Before we go on any further, let's get Groucho up here, guys. Stocking. The word of the day. Okay, let's get that in the chat. There we go. It's coming through now. Anybody have their Christmas lights and their Christmas decorations up quite yet? It is that time. It is definitely that time. Okay. I'll keep this up here as I talk a little bit more. Okay? There is a little bit of psychological side to the Santa Claus rally as well, kind of that herd mentality. I won't go so far as to say that it's FOMO, but there is a little bit of that herd mentality also. Okay? And honestly, people are just feeling good. So, should you buy into the market? Should you buy stocks ahead of the Santa Claus rally? Ahead of that period of time? Okay? Well, historically, December is one of the strongest months of the year. Okay, whether it's because of Santa Claus or not. But we got to remember also, past performance is not a guarantee of future gains, right? And if there has been any year that I've been involved in the markets where historical data points and historical performance has not really held true, it's this year. I'm not saying we're not going to rally in the last few trading days of the year into the first couple trading days of January. But this has kind of been one of those outlier years. Okay, we also don't know. I mean, I think there's a lot more uncertainty going into the end of the year this year, guys. I really do. We don't know what the Fed's going to do. And that Fed meeting, which is right before Christmas, I think it's either December 17th or 18th, somewhere right in there, that's going to be a critical one. Not so much for how the market is really going to act in 2025. It's going to be a critical one for psychology. So you've got that. We've got a lot of inflation points, data points before the Fed meets here. Okay, so that is going to weigh very, very heavily on investor psychology, if you will. I'm going to put this back up here for a second. Okay, so let's see what happens. It is something that is real. It is a trend that is absolutely something to watch. We are not going to trade off of it. We're not going to send signals off of, getting ahead of the Santa Claus rally. That's just not how we do things. Okay, but let's see what happens. I just hope, honestly, I hope the volatility remains through that period of time. Even if volume decreases, I hope the volatility remains because it has been a pretty darn good run. Excuse me. It has been a pretty darn good run. And we love volatility, right? We love volatility. All right, I am going to put up here, let me get a bit.ly link because I see a bunch of you are asking for the link to that. Can you please give me a bit.ly for presentation? Put this up here, guys. All right, I want to kind of go into a little bit of a rapid fire here. If there are some stocks that you guys want me to take a look at, I would be happy to. And then we'll come back to Groucho here shortly. So if there are any stocks you want to take a look at, let me know what those are, guys. Someone at the very beginning was saying Palantir with a nice rally. Yeah, it was up. It was up much larger today. NVIDIA is a really interesting one. You know why, guys? Look at the chart in NVIDIA. Okay, I probably don't have to go much further to talk about NVIDIA. What do you see here? What do you see here? Here's what I see. This and this little dip below, and then we're here, and we are approaching the 50-day moving average, which I believe is 134.5. So you're asking me about NVIDIA, and I'm saying that I've got my alerts. In fact, I'm going to show you. I've got my alerts set, and you can see it right here. I've got it set for 134.70, a little bit ahead of that 50-day moving average. If it gets down there, yeah, we will look to do something on the long side. Domino's Pizza DPZ. Sure looks like it's going to fill that gap here. That gap is at 473. You know what? It filled it today. It filled it by 9 cents today already. So from here, now it's anyone's question. Does everybody see this gap right here? I just made this a little bit bigger. Okay, that gap literally to the penny was 473.27. Today's high, 473.36. Thank you, Danny, for putting the link to the presentation out there. Anybody that wants that presentation, you can get it. So right now, guys, Domino's Pizza kind of in no man's land now that it filled that gap. Mandy. Now, is that a play on Barry Manilow? If it was, I would be long it to the hilt in my IRA. I know it's Monday.com, but I see MNDY and I think of Mandy and Barry Manilow here. Here's one. Okay. Here's one. You've got this major gap here. Okay. This gap is at 324.31. 324.31. I'd be playing for that gap, quite honestly. Okay. Volatility is very inexpensive. Very, very inexpensive. There's no weekly options. There are weeklies for this week, which is kind of odd, but there are no other weeklies. They're all monthlies. I would be definitely looking to buy some time here and to fill that gap. All right, Netflix. Yeah, why not look at Netflix, which just reached all-time highs and then just popped down off of that. I don't know. When I see a stock hit all-time highs here, guys, it's real difficult for me to look at anything here. There's nothing I see that's going to make Netflix move one way or the other. I know they got this massive, massive rise up here after the Tyson fight. Everybody loved it. As bad as their streaming was, it was a matter that they had, 100 million viewers or something like that. It's hard not to be bullish Netflix, but not a position I'm going to want to take right now. Let me put Groucho back up here, guys, because we're going to have last call, and then I'll come back to rapid fire here. Last call for any of you not in the wheel yet. Housing is crazy. That is, it is. It is crazy right now. Okay, guys, final call for the word of the day. Let's get back to rapid fire here. Let's look at some semis here. Okay, this is the Bull 3X Bull ETF for the semis. Okay, you can see of late, it's been making some lower lows and lower highs of late. Okay, that's this trend right here. But this support really held here. Does that mean I want to be bullish semis right now? Not really, to be honest with you. I don't want to be bearish them. They've gotten beaten up pretty good recently. But I will tell you one stock that I think could really make a nice run that has been under pressure, and I have Micron coming up on the screen right now. That's right back to its 200. I really like TSM, Taiwan Semi. We actually put a signal out there this morning. If I was going to choose one stock in the semi area, it would be Taiwan Semi. We can look at Dell. We could definitely look at Dell here. Okay, Dell is right up at some really major resistance. Okay, this 147-ish area, 148 area. Okay. All right. Where's the Scott's Room Black Friday pitch? It's in the room. It's in the room. Monty, I think you're too late, man. If you weren't in it earlier, I think you are too late. Oh, Harlow, you can come in here. Come on, Har. Hey, Pups. Go say hi. Come here. Come here. My son's dog who's here for the holidays. All right. Guys, this is it. I will be live on the floor tomorrow. Let's get the wheel rolling today here. Yeah, we're pretty full. I like it. I like it. Monty, sorry about that, man. Make sure you tune in just a little bit earlier tomorrow to get into the wheel spin. Let's have at it, guys. Harlow, give us a little countdown. Give us a little drum roll. There we go. There's the drum roll. Okay, here we go, guys. What do we have today, Robert? Again, there's no way. Robert, I don't know what it is. Do you ever play the lottery? I'm going to spin again here. Robert will get something, but I'm going to spin this again here. Do you play the lottery, Robert? I cannot believe this. There is no way. No, it's not fixed. It is definitely not fixed. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Robert, you are off. You won. You're off. Let's do this again. It's absolutely crazy. Here we go again. Who is on the wheel now? Number 2 today, Ollie, Derek, ZW. Who is it? Coming close. Derek. Derek, are you here? You know you got to be here, Robert. Yeah, we know you're here. You don't miss an opportunity. You're the man. Derek, are you here? Got to be here to collect. Derek, yes, sir. Okay, Dunzo. Make sure you guys email me. prosperSwag@prospertrading.com. All right? And I will see everybody, tomorrow. Everybody tomorrow on the floor. I will be there. Dennis, TSM was something I said if there was going to be one semi out there that I really liked, TSM's the one. Okay, we put a link in here earlier, guys. If anybody wants a copy of today's presentation and the jolly old fella there is a link up here, and then here it is right here. No, I don't want to leave YouTube, but I want to get the link, that's for sure. Copy current address. There we go. There it is again, guys. Okay? Anybody that wants it? Have a great day, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow.